Introduction. Hello, everyone. Today I will be your guide for this video. In this episode, we will learn how to use macros in PowerPoint. A macro is a small program written in Visual Basic for Applications (VBA) that can perform repetitive tasks in PowerPoint and save time. However, unlike Excel and Word, macros cannot be recorded in PowerPoint, so you need to write the code yourself using VBA. Don't worry, it's not as difficult as it sounds. This video is designed for beginners, so we'll keep it simple. In this episode, we'll cover how to enable and create macros in PowerPoint, how to edit and run them, and how to save the file. Enabling macros. Since your PowerPoint's current setting may not allow macros to be run, you may need to enable macros first. To do this, open PowerPoint and click on the File tab in the upper left corner. Click on the options at the bottom of the menu. In the PowerPoint Options dialog box that opens, click on Trust Center in the left pane. Click on the Trust Center Settings button on the right. In the Trust Center dialog box that opens, click on Macro Settings in the left pane. Generally, users choose Disable All Macros with Notification because the Enable All Macros option may be risky and make your computer vulnerable to potentially dangerous code. After selecting the appropriate option, click OK to close the dialog box. Creating macros. Next, let's create a macro. Many people have mentioned that to use macros in PowerPoint, you need to enable the Developer tab that may be hidden, and then perform several steps to insert a module and so on, which can be a bit cumbersome and unnecessary for beginners. The target audience of this video is beginners, so we'll tell you the easiest way. First, in the View tab, select and click Macros. In the dialog box that opens, you will find that nothing can be clicked except a Cancel button. So should you just click Cancel? Of course not. Enter an A or other words in the name box, and a miracle happens, the Create button becomes clickable. Click on it, and you'll see a brand new pane, the Visual Basic Editor window. Here, you'll find a blank macro named A. You can use it, keep it, or delete it, whatever you prefer. The point is, by simply typing in A, PowerPoint will automatically add a module where you can start creating macros. The next time you want to use VBA in this module, there's no need to create a blank macro again. Just select any macro, click Edit, and you'll return to this window. Next, let's proceed to create a simple macro that can display a pop-up message box. You can enter the following text into the module window. Let me explain. This macro displays a simple message box containing the text, Hello World. The first line, sub MSG box simple, is the name of the macro. Sub and end sub are keywords used to define the start and end of a macro, and there must be a pair of parentheses after each sub. In VBA, macro names must start with a letter and can contain letters, numbers, and underscores. Spaces cannot be used in macro names, and you can use underscores to separate words. The second line is a comment describing the function of the macro. Comments begin with an apostrophe and are ignored by VBA. You can use comments to describe your code in words to help make it easier to understand. The third line is the code to display the message box Hello World. MSG box is a built-in VBA function that displays a message box. The text message to be displayed should be enclosed in quotation marks. Congratulations, you have created your first macro in PowerPoint. Are you eager to give it a try? To run your macro, click Macros in the View tab in PowerPoint, and in the pop-up macro dialog box, select the name of the macro you want to run from the list of available macros, then click Run. You should see a message box that says, Hello World. When you want to modify the VBA code, for example, change the Hello World message to Hello Wind, click Macros in the View tab again and select the one you want to modify, then click Edit to make changes to it. Not all macro names will appear in the pop-up macro dialog box for reasons that will be discussed later. But as long as you select any macro, you can enter the module window where you can see all other macros and make modifications to them. Save presentations with macros. Presentations with macros cannot be saved as ordinary PowerPoint PPTX files. You need to save the PowerPoint file as a macro-enabled presentation. Please go to File, Save As, and select a location for the file. Then under Save As Type, select PowerPoint Macro-Enabled Presentation, PPTM, give your file a name and click Save. After you modify the VBA code, you also need to press Ctrl+S to save the changes. This concludes our tutorial on the basics of PowerPoint macros. We hope you find it useful. You can find more information in the description part of this video. If you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.